What's going on, Beamer fans? Welcome back to Beamer Review. For today's video, we're going to be going over the 10 plus ways that you could damage your BMW. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, Beamer Review, what we do here is teach you everything there is to know about BMWs. We go over all the hidden tips and tricks. Do yourself a favor. If you want to learn everything there is to know about your BMW, subscribe to the channel because we put out content every single week. Before we get started, we do have BMW key fob covers for the key fob that looks like this. If you have a key fob that looks like that for your BMW, do yourself a favor, get a key fob cover for it because you do not want to damage this key. It's very, very expensive. We do shipping all across the United States, so definitely check out those key fob covers at the end of the video right down below. Let's go ahead and get started. So we did do a similar video to this one a while back, but we did narrow down the list a little bit and we also included a couple of new ones, so definitely stay tuned for the whole thing. These are really big things to know about, hence why we are doing a second video on it. So make sure you watch and you know about all 10 because you may just walk away with a scratch on your brand new BMW, and who wants that? Also, I do apologize for the fan noise. As you can see, it is over 100 degrees outside. I am burning up and the fan is going to have to stay on for just a little bit more longer just so the vehicle can cool down a little bit. So I do apologize for the fan noise. So let's go ahead and get started. The number one is going to be the trunk. Whenever somebody gets a brand new BMW, as soon as they open it inside their garage, you're going to notice that the tailgate goes way up there. And then before you know it, it's going to hit the top of the garage. So if you are somebody that has a lower garage, there is a setting within the car that I'm going to show you on how to adjust the trunk height. By default, the trunk is going to be on the highest height, which is level 5, but I would recommend dropping it down a little bit if you have a garage that may be quite low. We see it more often than not, the top of the trunk does hit the top of the garage door, so definitely pay attention to this one. If you want to drop the trunk height, what you need to do is, first of all, obviously go into your car, go into settings, and then the setting that you're going to see is going to be inside doors and windows. Go ahead and give that a click, and then all the way to the right, you're going to see tailgate. Once you click on tailgate, you're going to see some options here. It's called opening height. What you want to do is just drop it down to probably 3 or 4 if you have a lower garage where the trunk could open up and accidentally hit it. Also, as we can see, the trunk is open right now. If I wanted to close it, bonus tip, just hold this up the entire time and then your trunk or tailgate in the back will close. Number 2 is going to be the brake intervention feature, where many people think that the BMW is going to stop. Your BMW will only stop for you if you have the package called Driver's Assistant Professional. What you could do is go into your settings right over here, and then if you go all the way down to driving settings right there, you're going to see driver assistance, where we're going to see all the different safety features. What you want to look into is forward collision mitigation. Now, all cars are going to have this located right here where it says braking intervention, but keep in mind, your BMW will only brake for you if you have the package called Driver's Assistant Professional, which is going to be this guy right over here. You have to have this package. It's $2,500 for this car, but you have to have that package in order for the vehicle to come to a full stop. If you don't have that package, you are still in charge. Your BMW will still warn you and it will pre-tension the brakes a little bit, but you still have to stop the car. Number 2 is going to be our parking assistance features. So let's go into this guy right over here. So once we're on this screen, there are a couple different features here. A lot of new BMWs, especially the mid-tier ones and higher up, you're going to get this feature right here called Route Record. What that does is you can have the car remember the pathway into your driveway. Say, for example, it can park into the garage all by itself. The way that it works is you record the path initially, and then the next day or next time you get back to the starting point, just pop on the screen, and then you'll see it right here pop up saying, hey, do you want the vehicle to perform the path that you had recorded before? Just push on that, and then the vehicle will remember the steps that you took to get into your garage or parking spot. Say, for example, used it in your driveway. The only thing to watch out for is that this feature is not always going to work exactly the same. If you are somebody who has a very tight garage, if you have that much space along the sides of your side mirrors, that is going to be one thing to heavily watch out for because it is not a perfect system. Keep in mind that these are driver's assistance systems. They're not going to be ones that are 100% accurate all the time. I have seen some horror stories of people not paying attention whenever using this automated feature, and they have scraped the sides of their cars on their garage doors or to the sides of the garage. I've probably heard of it, seen it on my side for about 2 to 3 times. So that is one huge thing to watch out for. You always want to take your time using it. Don't give it your 100% trust because, again, it is a newer feature And then at the same time, if you leave just that much room, it does leave the potential for things to go wrong. But I would recommend using it. It is a really cool feature when it does work the way that it's supposed to, but always remain cautious whenever performing that. The next one is going to be backup assistant. Same thing with backup assistant. We don't see it here yet, but a lot of times BMWs have this feature called backup assistant, where if you were to take steps to get into your driveway, you could just push on backup assistant and then it would reverse itself out using those same steps. Same rules apply here. Even though the car will remember step by step the steps you took to get into your garage or driveway, I would say if it's anything less than a foot, you still want to remain heavily cautious on this one. Keep in mind with any of these driver's assistant features, you're more than welcome to keep your foot on the brake the entire time. Once you push on either backup assistant or even record a new path or even the self-parking feature, you can always keep your foot on the brake to guide the vehicle. So always keep that in mind. You don't have to fully let go of the brake. You can keep your foot on the brake the entire time while the vehicle is doing its thing all by itself. So yes, backup assistant is also another one to watch out for, similarly to the one that we had mentioned before with record new path. It is not a 100% accurate system. Anything less than a foot, you always want to be highly cautious of. Next up is going to be the self-parking feature. Again, for this one, we are still inside this screen. You can see that the vehicle has a self-parking feature because it is searching for a spot. The self-parking feature does work really well. It does a great job of detecting cars, detecting walls, detecting lines. It does a pretty good job. I say it's a good 75 to 80% good whenever it comes to detecting lines, as long as they are clear. The only thing with self-parking you have to watch out for is going to be curbs. So you can see right over there, there is a curb right there. A lot of the times the vehicle may not be able to pick up the curbs if it's too low or too high. So you do run the risk of not only running over them, but you could scrape your rims on the curbs. So whenever you're performing self-parking, whether you're doing parallel parking or whether you're doing a spot like that, be mindful, super mindful of the curbs that may be around you. This next one is not really a feature that could damage your BMW, but it would lead to damage if you don't have it activated. For many BMWs, this is on by itself, but many cars, you do have to go in here and activate this feature. The next one is going to be the ability to fold in the mirrors whenever you lock the car. So for that, you also want to go into doors and windows, and then you want to go into lock, unlock. You want to make sure that this guy right here is on. Fold mirrors on lock and unlock. What's going to happen is you lock the car, the mirrors fold in. They are going to be folded in, so nobody's going to bump into them by accident, or it will make things less likely for you to get sideswiped, hit by a bicycle or another car. So definitely make sure you have that feature on. Highly, highly recommended for all BMWs. The next one is going to be auto hold. Auto hold is going to be this guy here. If you have it on, you're going to see a green light pop up there. You're also going to see auto hold pop up right there in the corner as well. The thing to watch out for with auto hold is if you're going through a car wash, you have to deactivate that. If you're going through a car wash, if you have your vehicle going into neutral while this guy is still on, your brake is still going to be applied. So that's one thing you have to watch out for. If your auto hold is on while you're in neutral, your vehicle's brake is going to be applied. The thing that's going to happen is that the rail is going to try to catch onto your tire, but it's not going to be able to move the car because you have your brake on or auto hold on. So what's going to happen is that the rail is going to go beneath your tire. Your vehicle is going to go up and down, and it's going to get really scary whenever that happens. So whenever you're going through a car wash, always deactivate auto hold so that your vehicle does go into neutral whenever you do shift into it. The next one is going to be remote software updates. Every vehicle should be getting remote software updates. It's very, very healthy for the car. It helps out with bug fixes and whatnot. The only thing to watch out for with remote software updates is that whenever the vehicle is performing it, just let it do its thing. The vehicle will say, just leave me alone for about 20 minutes for the vehicle to do the software update. I would personally leave it alone for maybe up to an hour, even though it only needs 20 minutes just to kind of play it safe. But during those first 20 minutes while it's doing the update, do not touch your car because you could damage the head unit of the car, which will result in some really big problems. Ones where you would have to bring the vehicle to service to get it fixed. And the only thing to watch out for that is a lot of the times your warranty may get void if you were to not follow directions whenever you're doing that. So whenever you're doing remote software upgrades, follow the directions. Do not touch the car, open the car within that 20-minute time period or whatever it says on the directions. The next one is going to be pulling on your wiper to change the blades or clean them. On BMWs, you cannot just go up to the wiper blade and just pull on it. You have to put it into winter wiper mode in order to get the wipers to raise up, and then you can pull them away. The way you do that is you have to have the vehicle running. Simply just turn off the vehicle, and then your wiper stick that you have right over here, just hold it in the down position and just keep holding. You're going to see the wipers stop right about there. Now it is in the winter wiper mode, and then you can go ahead and lift off the blades and clean them or replace them. Do not just simply try to pull on the wipers. Your wiper could scratch your paint on the hood, or you could even break the blade if you try to do it without putting it into winter wiper mode. Next up is going to be the emergency PDC braking, what that is if you go back into this guy right here, you're going to go into more, which is located right down here, and then you want to go into settings. Right over here, you're going to see active PDC emergency braking. If I click on that, you can see that the feature is off, but many people, what they do is they turn this guy on, which is quite nice. It is good to kind of have this feature on, but what they do wrong is that they rely on this feature to brake for them whenever they're parking inside their garage. Keep in mind that this is also not a 100% accurate feature that works all the time. It's only designed for emergency purposes. If you're trying to rely on this feature to park inside your garage and not rely on your cameras or the beeping sounds that your vehicle makes to park, there is a good chance that active emergency braking may not work, and then before you know it, your vehicle is going to hit the back of your garage whenever you're trying to park. So don't always rely on this guy either. If your vehicle does have this feature, I would recommend kind of having that on. It is a really good feature, but don't misuse it. Just treat it as an emergency thing. You should always use your mirrors, use the camera, and then use the beeping sounds or PDC sounds that the vehicle makes to park. Don't just expect the vehicle to put on the brakes for you whenever it thinks that it's going to hit the wall. Next one is going to have to go with the wireless charger, which is located right down here. For many BMWs, they start to come with wireless chargers now. The mistake that people make where they could absolutely damage their BMW or even their phone is the issue where they leave their digital key card placed right here and then their phone on top of that. What's going to happen is that you're going to damage your digital key card. You may even damage your wireless charging pad. And lastly, you may even damage your phone as well. Whenever you are using the wireless charger, you only want to use certified wireless phone cases to charge your phone. If you use anything else, you may run the risk of causing problems whenever you're using the wireless charging feature. Things may get really hot to the point where you might burn your fingers. Whenever you're using the wireless charging pad phone case, there should be nothing in between your phone case and the wireless charging pad and your phone. If there is, again, it's going to get really hot. It might burn your phone or your phone case, and you might run into other problems that you don't want to run into. If you are somebody who doesn't use that feature, you can go into the settings and deactivate that just for the peace of mind. So keep that in mind. You could also do that. The digital key card, if you needed to know where your digital key card was, just check inside your manual. You're going to see this guy right here. This is the card that people mess up on a whole lot. This is the card that people leave right over here on the wireless charging pad, and then they put their phone on top, and then that runs into problems. You may see that the wireless charger is charging your phone, and then your phone might say that it is also charging. But even though it is saying that, do not do that. Do not place this card in between your phone and the wireless charger. Next up is going to be the engine break-in period. Brand new BMWs, what I would recommend is for all the BMWs, just go easy for the first 1,000 to 1,200 miles. It is a brand new car. For the first 1,200 miles on any BMW, I personally would recommend just kind of going at a medium pace. Try to avoid flooring your car. As you're going from the 0 miles to 1,200 miles, you can gradually increase your speed. BMWs are greatly made, but I personally would recommend that every BMW owner just go kind of gradual for the first 1,200 miles, just so the engine can break in properly. All right, and for the last one is going to be the tires. Now, if you have a BMW that is a M car or even a M light vehicle, such as this X7 M50 that we have here, more likely than not, you are going to have tires that look like this. These are summer tires. They do not drive in the winter. If you try to drive on these summer tires in the winter or anything below 45 degrees Fahrenheit, what's going to happen is that your vehicle is not going to have grip on the road. These guys are going to turn into what feels like hockey pucks, and then you're going to slide off the road. And I know that sounds really, really aggressive, because that is a common mistake that many people make, not just with BMWs, but many cars in general. They rely on summer tires. They think that they have all-wheel drive, so the vehicle should be fine. That is not the case. A vehicle that's rear-wheel drive with winter tires is going to perform better than something like this that has summer tires in the winter. If you have a M vehicle And if it does have summer tires, you should know whether or not you have summer tires, all season tires right off the bat. All season tires look like this guy right here. This is a normal X7. This is a high performance M50 version, which comes with the summer tires. If you do have summer tires, what you need to do, go to the dealership's parts department. You need to get yourself a winter setup. What I would recommend is that you just spend the extra money, get a full setup, just so you avoid more fees way down the road. A full winter setup would mean that you get a designated winter wheel along with winter tires in a combination set. So that's what I would recommend, to know what tires your BMW has. It does make a huge difference in the winter. All season tires, you should be completely fine most of the time, as long as your area doesn't get too much snow. You should be completely fine with that. But if you do get a ton of snow, get winter tires. And if you have summer tires, get winter tires no matter what. You do not want to drive on these in the winter time. That is going to wrap it up for this video. If you all had any questions, write those down below. I am trying to catch up on every single comment, so please feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I will see you all for the next one.